Welcome back to my channel. Make sure to like, subscribe, so you can see every time I upload a new video. So today we're talking about my love life and this shit show that it is low-key. I mean, when I say it's a shit show, what I mean is that my love life has always been the topic of my own conversations in my head. Remember that Shein Boudram video when she was like, what's the point of love? And she was like so vulnerable and crying and sharing her thoughts on how, she feels like this vulnerability and all this stuff that you have to kind of experience to really embrace love. And I believe when she made that video, she had to be like 30. And I am in my 30s. And I'm still just, it's not that I have the thought of what's the point of love. I have more of the thought of, I just don't think it's easy so if I could describe what love usually feels like to me, it feels like an ocean and I'm a dolphin, right? I'm a dolphin in the ocean, just swimming through this ocean, trying to, go into the depth of it and find these shiny treasures and just discovery, and I tend to end up in relationships where the love is either very shallow and you could just see these wrecks and, kind of protruding out of the water. And there is so much to see and explore, but because it's so shallow, there's places I can't swim at because then I'll get caught and then I won't have any water, right? Any love. And then on the other spectrum, I'm in these relationships where it's super deep, but it's so unfamiliar. Like there's a lot to discover, but a lot that I can't swim to because there's like a barricade or a blockage. And it almost seems like there's like this thin layer of other ocean I can't go to. And I'm saying this as in like in the relationships I'm in, like when I get in relationships, this is usually kind of like how my partners operate. They either are shallow, but just wonderful in some ways. And then they're either deep, but there's so much blockages that make me feel like I'm in unfamiliar territory and like I'm not fully, I don't want to say not safe, but just not comfortable exploring. So some of you guys know, some of you ladies or fellas know that I am polyamorous. And recently, me and my secondary partner broke up. And a lot of it was because he was shallow and there was just nothing there that I can truly, deeply come together with. Like I appreciated him immensely, but there was just things that I saw that made me go, Like, how could you live your life with like this certain lack of depth and not, you know, explore further? Of course, we're going through our own life stuff. He's trying to, you know, get his career going and this and that. And me too. Like, I'm trying to take my TikTok and my YouTube and my film. Well, my main thing was my film. Like, I was trying to, and I'm still doing that, trying to get that off the ground. And I was experiencing a lot of stresses while trying to make this film. Just financial stuff, trying to figure out like how to be stable and how to do things on my own, because I do get a lot of support from my primary partner, but at the same time, I do appreciate doing things on my own so I can feel like, you know, I could be proud of it, say that it's mine, you know? And so the breakup happened, you know, about 2 months ago. And I guess it's just hitting me now because, you know, I would have friends come over and they're like, girl, you're not upset. And I'm like, no, because I had already been feeling it for a while that long term, I was going to be holding so much grudge from having to hold back my emotional fluidity, and being able to have like deep introspective conversations with him, and him not being able to do that for me. And I felt like I was always holding that space for him to be open. And he always says that, oh, I'm holding space for you to, you know, share how you feel. But then when I would share how I felt, he couldn't meet that with true understanding and kind of elaborate on what I just said and stay within that context and be empathetic. And, you know, I see a lot of videos on TikTok talking about men aren't empathetic. I think some men are, but I feel like in this particular relationship, he just has a harder time than other people. Whereas with my primary, it took time. It took him quite a lot of time, about 3 years, to really open up and be empathetic and understanding. And now I'm thinking, I'm just tired of waiting. Like, I'm tired of being in that position where I'm waiting for my partners to tap in, you know? And, you know, some people say, yo, you know, people tap in when they're ready to tap in, and or if you're the right one. And I'm like, you know what? Maybe you're right. Maybe you're right. Maybe I've never been the right person for anyone. And maybe I don't feel like I'm really the right person for anyone. Like, I live to give great advice and, you know, be there for people in need. And I live for that. I love that. I just feel like that really hurts though, because you know, I've shared with you guys what I've gone through with my parents, and all I want is to just receive the love that I never got the first time, you know, not the second time, not the third time, not the third year, not the second year, not after 5,000 fights, not after, you know, me doing the silent treatment, not after me leaving, not me after having to explore other options. You know, people are always telling me, oh, well, that's because you're not monogamous. And I'm like, I more than anyone would love to experience monogamy. Like, fully. Like, fully. I more than anyone want to experience that. But because of my experiences, because of what I've seen, men do in my family, what I've seen men do, for years. I could never truly trust monogamy. Like, I could never truly trust getting married. I could never truly trust all these things, because I've seen, like one of my friends, her dad, perfect dude, perfect guy, great provider, just loving, caring, just an amazing dude to her, right? Amazing father, great husband, all that. When he passed away, and he's been with his wife almost 30 years. When he passed away, his other family came to the funeral. He had a whole other family, and that traumatized my friend. She was like, I am literally shocked that this has been going on for so long. And I've just like sat there and, never saw the signs. And, yes, I get it. Love is a risk. Love is crazy. People go through the ups and downs. But, I'm learning that love really is just an intention, right? Love is just you saying, I love you. It's with the intention of, keeping the promises and cherishing the things that you hold sacred to your relationship with this person. And with this last relationship, I just did not experience that level of love. And I feel like in my primary partner relationship, I experienced some levels of that love, but there are just things that I still don't experience in that relationship fully. And it sucks. It sucks. I could chalk it up to how I grew up and like what happened in the past. But I did go to therapy. I went and got help. I went to, figure it out. And you know how many therapists I went to and said, wow, you're actually much more insightful and you are capable of solving your own problems. I've done that. But I do not understand why I can't just fully trust and fully love again. I mean, I could say it's because of how I grew up, honestly. The whole parents rejecting me, abandoning me as a child, as far as like me emotionally, not being present, not wanting to really be there, just wanting me to be the golden child / anchor baby / scapegoat / invisible child. It was like I was all the above. I served a purpose. And then as soon as like I remember being like 9 or even 12, my mom telling me, I can't wait till you freaking leave. I don't want you in my life, And it's like, I think when you experience that from a parent and also experience like abuse from people, males that you've trusted in your family or in general as you grow up, it makes you really question what love is, and if it's like, I know it's worth it, but it's like, I don't know if I can go further into it, like how I would like. And I think that that's what ultimately breaks my heart about it. Because, I've always wanted, I go gun-ho for my friends. I like go gun-ho for people in my family that I love, you know, like, obviously, like, for my kid, like, I go stupid dumb hard for him. Like, what? I'm gonna pull up. What's going on? Like, for everyone I love. And I'm not saying I haven't experienced someone that loves me. I just haven't experienced the love that makes me say, wow, I feel free. I haven't had that freeing feeling. So what does life look like for me, right, in the future? So what does life look like for me in the future? Like, am I going to continue being poly? Am I going to continue to have multiple relationships? Am I going to, be single for a while? Am I going to, I honestly don't know. I don't know. I know that, if it ever comes to an end, as far as the poly stuff, then so be it. Like, I'm not against monogamy. I'm not against poly. It's just, it's for whatever really makes sense for you and what you can handle and what you find ethically moral, or what you find works for you. So no judgment. But I just want that feeling. Like, I was talking to one of my friends on the phone. I was like, I've been in relationships, and I think maybe once or twice I've ever felt like, wow, I can do the monogamy thing, and maybe I could have another child. That would be great. Like, I can consider that for this person or that person. But it's so scary to me, because I would always say, my heart has been fractured and broken far before a guy has ever broken it, or I have broken it. But when I really think about it, the pain of heartache hurts me more, because I guess in a way, because I've been hurt by blood, I'm hoping that I won't be as hurt by people that are non-blood, right? And that's really stupid to think. And that's, you get what I'm saying? Like, you think, oh, well, I've been through hell. Maybe not dealing with my family and like that being cut off, I'm gonna have great success with non-family. Like, like, people are gonna be loyal, caring, and loving to me outside of my home. And it's not necessarily the case. And I felt like when someone did show me their love care, it came at the price of me having to prove myself, having to prove that I am like a person you can count on, someone that's going to love you to the moon and back, and have your back, and adore you, and all this other stuff. And I was having a conversation with my ex a few months back, like maybe 3-4 months back. And I cried because I said, it breaks my heart that I want to just love somebody for who they are and not what they have. But they continuously show me that they rather be loved for what they have. And I'm not saying I don't, love to be taken care of and and spoiled and things like that, but just to love that person at their core, and them not maybe loving themselves enough to want someone to love that about them. And maybe it's because I fall in love with people that are broken or have the same sort of upbringing as me, and they're struggling with loving themselves or whatever. But yeah, I think that, you know, I still find a lot of peace in knowing that I can love this way. And I find a lot of peace knowing that, you know, when it's over, that's the time I can fall in love again. Shout out to Sugar Ray. Yeah. I think that that is something that I'm still like, still something that I'm low-key proud of, that I can dust myself off and try again. But, you know, I just want to get to that point where I'm not trying anymore. And I'm just truly loving and giving in. And the person that I'm with gives into the first time around. And not have to go through a shit show of horrible emotional moments that break down, you know, our communication, our, you know, empathy, our kindness, our love, our respect, our trust for each other. So yeah, I hope to hit you guys back with a new video, and hopefully I'm in better spirits. And I'll see you guys on the next one. I hope you like this video. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe. Peace.